Hi, Guru Jeff here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between a fighter and a Bowie. Just for size comparison, this is a typical folding knife size. It's a Sebenza, a large one, and the blade's about 3.5 inches in length. This Bowie, you can see, is significantly larger. It's a 10-inch Bowie. This particular one is made by John M. Smith with a textured micarta handle, and you can see it's much larger. Because of the larger blade, clearly you would have a bigger wound channel. With the larger blade, the mass and the length of the weapon allows for depth and penetration on things like back cuts, which you would not have with a blade this size, even if it had a clip point that was sharpened. Sure, you can do it. You can do a back cut. You can do get some penetration. But it's kind of like that old joke, does size make a difference? Well, it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to protect yourself, if you had to use a blade for combat, you could use this, or you could use this. If you had to trust your life on a blade, which would you rather have in a fight? Now, when we talk about fighters versus Bowies, what's the primary differences? Here, they look alike. You can see both blades have a clip point. Both blades, the swedge, the clip point area, is sharpened. So both can be used for back cutting actions. But what makes a fighter different than a Bowie? Fighters are generally lighter. Why? Because they're meant to be carried. Okay, a Bowie, a full-size Bowie, unless the maker is very good, can come in lighter or heavy weights, depending on its intended overall use. A Bowie knife is longer, so it's more cumbersome to carry. A fighter is lighter, so that you're more likely to carry it. Again, the likelihood is that if you had to fight for your life with a blade, the odds are relatively slim. So having the potential to have the blade with you is maybe of more importance than having a larger blade but not having it with you because you couldn't carry it comfortably. Something to think about. Now, like I said, this particular blade is a 10-inch blade. Now, the example I have in my left hand here is made by Joe Flournoy. Fantastic maker. He makes a lot of really great knives. What makes his knives so desirable? They're light, fast, maneuverable. They're tapered from the tang down to the tip so that it's light and moves quickly. But you can see clearly that the Bowie, again, is larger than the fighter. Although this fighter is almost as large as this. This is an 8-inch blade, this is a 10-inch blade. It does have a sharpened swedge. The blade is tapered, but you can see the width of the blade is smaller than the Bowie. So, smaller blue wound channel, less penetration depth with this fighter. This fighter in my hand is also made by John M. Smith. Unfortunately, he no longer makes knives, but the knives that he has made in the past are all tremendous values, and his skill level was unsurpassed, in my opinion. This is about a 7.5-inch blade. See, it's very close. Okay. Again, on my micarta handle, it's grooved to allow for better traction on grips. The Joe Fluoride blade has all the bells and whistles. This one has a hilt. You probably can't see on the camera, but it has several spacers, micarta spacers, that follow the hilt going into the handle. What that does is it helps to serve as a ferrule, and it also provides some hand traction as well. The handle is mortised onto the tang, and also has a couple of cross bolts. And you can see he has a butt plate on it as well. So this particular knife, this particular fight, has all the bells and whistles. Okay? Amazingly, this fighter is lighter than all the other knives I showed you earlier, including the folding knife. So you can see how a knife this size can be readily concealed because the handle is short and very light, and it carries very comfortably. This fighter is made by Robbins, R-O-B-B-I-N-S. Great knife, amazing really. What makes it so different? Well, the handle, you can see, is a very common design to use these days, which is very comfortable. Okay, it has a palm swell, it's tapered down on these two areas, which allow for a sure grip. The handle material on this is African blackwood, which is one of my favorites. It feels very smooth and it grips very nicely. The hilt on this knife is an S shape to allow for security, to make sure that your hand doesn't ride up onto the blade during a hard thrust. You should hit bone or body armor or some type of surface that would impede your penetration. And here the hilt is upswept a little bit so that for those who like to place it on there, you can. I don't always recommend that, but for some people who like that, it's a very comfortable handle. What makes this blade really unique is the very aggressive nature of its design. You can see from the point to the sharpened clip area to the it's very long and it's quite narrow. That allows for ease of penetration. However, once you get past this point here, and this is a 7.5-inch blade, once you get past the sharpened wedge, this part of the blade is quite wide, almost as wide, if not wider, than most Bowie knives, and that allows for a much greater wound channel. So on a full thrust with this, it would be devastating, truly. So you can see that fighters can come in a variety of sizes. Some people may call both of these Bowie knives. Yeah, in a sense they are, but they're not really. Okay? The distinction is that it tends to be lighter than a full-sized Bowie, and the blade is a little bit shorter, and it's lighter in general so that it can carry much more easily. Okay, what I'm going to do now is to show you how comfortably some of these fighters can be carried. You may or may not notice, but I'm wearing a white shirt so that you can see the outline of my figure 8 harness made with paracord. And I have the John M. Smith fighter on my person. So from any position, or maybe standing, but here I'm sitting, I just easily reach down, grab, and access my blade very fast. Okay? Like I said, John M. Smith was really ahead of his time in terms of blade design, in my opinion, and also carry systems. His kydex and leather work was very, very exceptional, and I can't recommend his work enough. Okay, I hope you found this clip useful. Stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed it. You can check out my websites if you're interested in my knife training classes. I teach out of New York City. I am available for seminars. And my website is ahighart.com or ahighart.net. Okay? Hope to see you guys out there. Stay well and stay sharp.